In the previous classes you have learned what an electric charge is and what are the important characteristics. So today we will see Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So basically Coulomb's law of electrostatics is a quantitative statement on the force exerted on a point charge by another point charge, or in short the force of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges is given by Coulomb's law of electrostatics here. So according to the statement, if you consider 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2, Coulomb tried to measure the force between these two charges, and of course when I say point charge, remember two spherical conductors which are charged to some Q1 and Q2 can be considered as point charges as far as the distance between those two spheres is very large. So Coulomb took two charged bodies which are identical almost, and he tried to vary the charges on them, and he tried to find the forces between them, and he came to a conclusion that the force between any 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of these two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. That is, if you say the force between the two charges is F, this F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2, and this F is inversely proportional to the distance square. That is, the distance between them is R here. So then force on any of these two charges is F is proportional to Q1, Q2, or it is inversely proportional to R square. Now combining the two, we get F is proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square, or F is equal to some constant of proportionality into Q1, Q2 by R square. So there is a constant of proportionality here. So that constant, see, it was the beginning of measuring the force between the two charges. So this constant could be given any value. It was a choice at that point of time. Whereas keeping in mind the convenience, some value was given to this K. That K is 9 into 10 to the power 9. And the unit is, for this K, if you want to find the unit, it's very easy. See, in the previous classes you have learned, charge is Coulomb. Charge is measured in coulombs, you know that. This is also again charge, coulombs. This is distance, meters square. And this is force, any kind of force, whether it is electrostatics or mechanics or whatever. The force is in newtons. So this I can just briefly write here. LHS is newtons, and RHS, this K as it is, and Coulomb by meter square. So Coulomb square, meter square, Newton. So K is in terms of Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So this is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. This is the value of K. Whereas later it was defined that this K is taken as 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, and the unit is of course Newton meter square per Coulomb square, and of course force is in newtons of course. So therefore F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So it's very simple. Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges separated by a distance in air or any medium is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of those two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Now you must be thinking, what is this epsilon naught here? Epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12, and unit you can tell me yourself. It's very easy. epsilon if I put here, F comes down here. So Coulomb square divided by Newton divided by meter square. So this is Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. And this is called the absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity of free space. Absolute permittivity of free space. Assuming that the medium between the two charges is air or vacuum, we can have this constant as absolute permittivity of free space, which is so much. Then in that case, if you have, in any case, if you have a medium other than this air or vacuum, okay, any medium, any other medium, of course that we are going to study in the coming chapter, later topics you are going to study that. So if you have any other medium, then the equation, the constant k is slightly going to change. That you will study in the coming topics. So that's about Coulomb's law. Now, this is, we have just got the magnitude of force. Now what about the direction? So of course, to represent the direction, we have to have vector form of this Coulomb's law. So let me just write the vector form. Now, it's very easy. If I consider 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r, we said earlier. Now let me take the vector form here. Say origin of our coordinate system is O. The distance from point O to Q1, point O to Q1, let us say R1, which is a vector. Similarly, distance from O to point 2, that is Q2, is say R2. Then the distance of charge 2 from charge 1 can be written as R21 as a vector. So distance of 2 from 1, this is in this direction. Now if you assume that the force, the two charges here, say they are identical, say positive both, in that case it's a repulsive force. So on charge 2, the force is in this direction. I'll call it as F on 2 due to 1, force on charge 2 due to charge 1. On the other hand, on Q1 it is the force on charge 1 due to charge 2, which is F12. So both are vectors, of course. So this is the force. Now how do you write the expression for the force here? So therefore F21, the force due to charge 1 on charge 2, F21 is equal to, we have the equation Coulomb's law, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R square, where R is the magnitude of R21, into the direction vector, that is unit vector. I'll call it as R, it is 21, so rightward direction, R21 cap, R21 cap. Now what will be the force on, similarly the force on charge 1 due to charge 2, that is F12, that will also be same like this, 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Here R12, distance of 1 from 2, R12 square, this is cap of course, and this is R12, this is R21, where R21 is the magnitude of R21 vector, R12 is the magnitude of R12 vector, which is just opposite to R21. So we know that, let me just remove this. But so we know that distance of charge 1 from charge 2 is equal in magnitude to distance of charge 2 from charge 1, whereas the directions are opposite. So when I take them as vectors, I just have to write a negative sign here. They are opposite in direction. Therefore, of course, R12 cap is equal to minus R21 cap. So that shows that F21 has R21 cap, that is this, R21 cap, and F12 R12 cap. So F21 is equal to F12 in magnitude. Magnitude is same exactly, whereas direction is here opposite. Therefore, I can write like this. So you can understand now that the force on charge 2 due to charge 1 is equal in magnitude to the force on charge 1 due to charge 2, but opposite in direction. That shows Newton's third law. So Coulomb's law of electrostatics is in accordance with Newton's third law. That is, action and reaction are equal and opposite. That is, the force exerted by charge 1 on charge 2 is same in magnitude to the force exerted on charge 1 by charge 2, or vice versa. So, but direction is opposite. So that's about Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So now this is for only two charges we have seen. What about multiple charges? We will see that later. First, let us understand what is this Coulomb here. Now, in the previous class we said charge is measured in terms of Coulomb, but we did not try to understand how much is 1 Coulomb. That we are going to define now. As I already told you, this constant of proportionality K is taken as 9 into 10 raised to 9 for vacuum, of course. That gives you the value of Q indirectly now. That is, when you measure the force between two charges, substitute the value of this, you know the force, you know the distance, then you can find out the product Q1 and Q2. So let us just try and define how much is Coulomb. So now we are going to define what is Coulomb. The unit of charge. Now, just in this case, you just imagine, like in case if you say Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to 1. So if Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to 1 Coulomb, then put all that and separated by distance. So Q1 and Q2 are same, and the distance is 1 meter, and R is equal to 1 meter. That is, consider 2 point charges of unit magnitude, that is 1 Coulomb and 1 Coulomb, separated by an unit distance, that is 1 meter. So then we get the force between them, F, is equal to, of course, K into Q1 Q2 by R square, assuming that the medium between them is air. So 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 1 divided by 1. So F is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 newtons. Correct? Now, how much is the force here? 9 into 10 to the power 9. Now reverse, you just proceed. That is, if the force is 9 into 10 raised to 9, and if the distance between the two charges is 1 meter, and if the medium between the two charges is air or vacuum, then the two identical charges will have a quantity of 1 Coulomb each. This becomes the definition for Coulomb. So let me just put it in words. That is, 1 Coulomb is that charge, right? 1 Coulomb is that charge which, when placed at a distance of 1 meter from an identical charge, that is another 1 Coulomb charge, in air or vacuum, then experiences a force of 9 into 10 to the power 9 newtons. Is that clear? So 1 Coulomb is that charge which, when placed at a distance of 1 meter from an identical charge in air or vacuum, experiences a force of 9 into 10 raised to 9 newtons. Simple. That is the definition of Coulomb. So that's about Coulomb's law of electrostatics. The basic statement, it's a quantitative statement about the force between two charges, 2 point charges especially. So I'll remove this.